The air-conditioned system of the National Theatre is of a great interest to people in the showbiz industry. A year ago, the executive director of the National Theatre, Amy Frimpong, created a Gofundme account to raise $75,000 to repair the cooling support system of the National Theatre. A year on, we find out what has become of this project. The cooling support system at the National Theatre is one chamber of the central air conditioning system. In December last year, it was reported that the beams of the water containers had rusted and needed to be fixed. The executive director of the National Theatre, Amy Frimpong, explains to us what really went wrong.
The portion from this end is the cooling tower. This is the support system, and this is what we were looking to replace. When we started the campaign, what had happened was usually there's water in here that helps with the cooling system, but because of COVID we shut it down and the support system had begun to rust. But when we shut it down and there was no water, the rust is sped up. So when we came back from our lockdown, we noticed that it was in a very dire place and that we needed to replace it as quickly as possible. That's why we started the GoFundMe.
Ms. Frimpong noted that out of the theatre's internally generated funds, they've been able to repair one of the cooling systems.
There are 3 cooling towers, and we've already completed work on one, and we are working on the second one. If you'll notice, this is the first one, and the work has been completed. In working on this, we also noticed that beyond that, we need to do some additional work on the concrete support for the metal beams. But for now, we just wanted to hold the cooling towers in place. Otherwise, we'll flip over and affect the building. And the second one is in process. So what they do is they come in, and you see the yellow things in there. Those are the hydraulics that help lift it. And once it's lifted, then they can work on the beams, replace it, and then lower it again. And then once we're done with this, we move on to the third one.
But what happened to the $1,397 raised through the GoFundMe account? Amy says they shut it down because they were not getting the amount they needed.
GoFundMe does not give you the money as they come in. The arrangement was once we got a quarter of the request, then they'll make a payment. We never got to that point, so we asked GoFundMe to return all the funds to the donors. So it never gets to us for us to even touch and be able to refund for us. So they do it on whoever is sponsoring their behalf.
So are you apprised of any information that truly those monies have been refunded to the contributors?
They made us know that it takes up to 6 months, and therefore we need to check after 6 months. And at that point, they hope that it will all be done. GoFundMe is not, we did it through the US branch because Ghana is not one of the countries that we can sign up for and actually set up a campaign from here. So we are hoping that it will be done as soon as possible.
Speaking to Welbeck Tamaklo, the estate officer of the National Theatre, he said it is a big challenge to repair broken parts of the entire AC system because the facility is old-fashioned. The National Theatre was established in 1992 as a gift by the Chinese government.
At the time that it was established, it was a system that was running. It's almost 30 years now. So, but now it's outmoded. And the way it is, it's difficult to even get the parts, the motors or the fans to even do any, if you want to do any replacement or change anything. Just as my madam was saying earlier, you have to go onto the market look out for before you are able to get a specific part to bring in before doing the replacement. So it's a very difficult situation.
What then are the timelines for fixing the rusted beams of the 2 other towers of the cooling support system?
It depends on income. So as we are able to generate money, and as we get some support from the ministry, then the work will go on. We can't go on if the money is not available.
Although they ordered the GoFundMe account to be closed, the executive director says donations to support their cause are still welcome.
We are still looking for sponsors, so anyone who wants to contribute to fixing this, we will be happy to receive their donations, and they can make it directly to National Theatre or go on our website. There's a button for sponsors to actually donate online, and our website is nationaltheatre.gov.gh.